The biggest battle you're going to face is not with the outside world, but within your own mind. And few really understand that. There is a different perspective, one that can transform you at the root, that comes from the wisdom of a Zen monk. What I learned from observing a wise monk for most of my life is something simple but powerful. For him, the mind is not a battlefield, but a garden. And that garden, like any other, must be cultivated with patience, with dedication, but also with a clear awareness of what goes in and what comes out. Because weeds are always there, waiting to entangle themselves in every corner of your mind. Today, I'm going to talk to you about that way of looking at life, about how the Zen monk is able to find absolute control, not by fighting against his thoughts, but by cultivating them, choosing what grows and what doesn't. Stay to the end because this may change the way you understand your own potential. Before we go on, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, comment on your thoughts, and share this video with someone who can benefit from this teaching. Together, we will walk the smart way. This monk taught me something that seems obvious, but that many of us ignore. The mind is like a garden. What you plant in your mind, what you allow to grow, will determine your entire life. But the problem is that most people let their mental garden grow unchecked, full of weeds. The monk doesn't allow that. For him, every thought is a seed. If it's a negative thought, a doubt, a distraction, it's treated like a weed and pulled up by the roots before it has a chance to spread. And the positive thoughts? Those are like flowers that must be cared for, watered with dedication and attention. It's not enough that they grow, they must be kept strong. You know the most impressive thing? This monk is never overwhelmed by the chaos of his mind, because he understands something fundamental. The mind is his to control, not the other way around. The garden does not rule the gardener. This monk also lives in the same world as you and me, full of distractions, of noise. But what sets him apart is his capacity for detachment. He does not allow himself to be carried away by the expectations of others. He is not a slave to his emotions. He observes everything that happens in his life, what arises in his mind, but he does not cling to anything. Detachment does not mean that he does not care. It means he doesn't allow what's going on around him to dictate his inner well-being. When you see someone like this, you see a stillness in their gaze, a certainty in their actions. His mind is quiet, not because the world is perfect, but because he has learned to control what he lets in and what he lets out. It is a simple but incredibly powerful lesson. The monk does not eliminate distractions from his life. He simply recognizes them and chooses not to be entangled by them. For him, outside noise need not interfere with the inner peace of his mental garden. What strikes me most is that the monk never sees his process as something that ends. For him, cultivating his mind is a constant journey. Every day is an opportunity to pull one more weed, to strengthen one more flower. Life is not a race to perfection. It is a slow, conscious walk where the focus is on every step you take. It's not about winning inner battles once and for all. It is about doing it day after day, consistently. The monk knows that his mental garden will always need tending, and through that consistency, he achieves an inner peace that not many do. You can do the same. You don't need to be a Zen monk to start applying these principles. Start today, simply by being aware of the thoughts you allow to flourish in your mind. Ask yourself, are these thoughts what I want to grow, or are they choking the garden that could be? The mind, like a garden, needs to be tended. If you don't, weeds will grow unchecked. But when you cultivate your mind, when you consciously choose what goes in and what stays in, you achieve a clarity and power you didn't know you had. But when you cultivate your mind, when you consciously choose what goes in and what stays in, you achieve a clarity and a power you didn't know you had. Now it's your turn. Start today to observe your mind as that garden that can flourish. Decide which thoughts deserve your energy and which ones need to be uprooted. In the end, control of your life begins and ends in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share this video with someone who also needs to start cultivating their mind, because together we can grow something much bigger. See you in the next video, where we will continue to build our best version.